the Hillbilly. Obviously, a lot has been going on. But we start with a young man outside of your door. He has sandy brown hair that is slightly curly and clearly has not seen a comb in some time, with some freckles. And he's wearing a Apex Dragons jumpsuit as if it were a military uniform, and standing with what he assumes is military precision outside of your door, nodding to you as if you were his superior.
So Hillbilly just opens his door and this guy's just standing there. Yep. Like, this is unplanned. He's just...
Yep. And like, when I say standing there, I mean like his nose must have almost been touching the door, and you have no idea how long he's been standing there because he didn't knock.
Yeah, I definitely like to think the Hillbilly kind of like fumbles a cup of coffee that he's got in his hands. Oh, hey, how you doing? You must be
Percival Oscar Dalton. Yes, sir.
Percival. All right. Well, nice to meet you.
He holds out a hand for you to shake.
Oh. Adjust and shake the hand.
Right.
And
he did. No. He's one of those handshakers that, good firm grip, but then the like wave function. It's up and down 3 sharp times before letting go.
Precise, like exactly 3 times up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, what do I know about this guy's background so far?
Have I
been given a file?
Yeah. So he's made his entire personality around his politics.
Okay.
So he is a staunch supporter of Victor Steiner Davian, who was supposed to be the Archon Prince of the Federated Commonwealth. A couple of months ago, it came out that the Archon Prince, had replaced one of the Marek children with a body double after the child died of cancer. Victor had promised to cure him of the cancer, and then he died anyway. And Victor was like, you know what? The best way out of this situation is to lie about it. No one will know that I've replaced the child with a body double, because who could see through that plan? So, of course, it was immediately seen through with the genius level it was. And Victor's sister, Catherine, his youngest sister, I should say, given that he has many other siblings, decided that now would be a great time to break the Lyran Commonwealth away from the Federated Commonwealth and declare it the Lyran Alliance, which is, of course, where Solaris is located now, the Lyran Alliance. This guy believes that Catherine is absolute scum. Anybody that calls her Katrina must be a loyalist piece of garbage, and that Solaris will never truly be free until it is returned to its rightful grip in Victor Steiner Davian's palm. Because the only freedom you can have is through the Federated Commonwealth, the freest freedom of all of the successor states.
All right, all of them, of course. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Percival, Percy, Pod, what do you go by? What do you like to be called?
Many call me Percy or Pod.
Percy or Pod, it is. All right. Well,
either of those, sir. Not Percy or Pod. Percy, apostrophe, Pod.
I got you. Yeah, I was being a little colloquial there. You're formal. I get it. Well, shoot, I didn't really expect you this early in the day, but let's make use of the time. Let's get you moving. In his background
search
file.
Jogging in place. Understood.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Based off his background, do I know like how much experience with mechs in general that he actually has?
It's not clear.
It's not clear.
Not clear.
All right. So Hillbilly will put one hand on his shoulder and be like, no, settle down. It's not quite what I meant. We'll get to the calisthenics later. Don't worry about it.
Understood.
Let's head down to the simulators and let's run us through a few little training exercises. Let's get a feel for where you're at.
Of course. I've used the simulators before during my time at the New Avalon Institute of Science. You may have heard of it.
I actually have. Yeah. A lot of people talk about this. Isn't that now? Did Zuri get her degree from there?
No, she got it from the University of Tharkad.
That's right. Okay.
So the New Avalon Institute of Science is in the Federated Suns part of the Commonwealth, and Tharkad is the capital of the Lyran Commonwealth, which is now the Lyran Alliance. So it's actually the exact opposite
diametrically
side.
opposed now.
So the new
All right,
Avalon
all right.
Institute of Science is like the most technologically advanced, militarily advanced, and the University of Tharkat is like the cultured, it's for the rich students.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll take Pod down to the simulators. We'll put him through some exercises, like drop him in and out of some of the weight classes, see how he does in a light, in a medium, in a heavy. Go from there.
All right.
Just
Have
try to
you
evaluate
ever
him.
seen a seal that is being eaten by a bear, just flopping around, desperate to survive?
Okay.
That is the equivalent of his performance level at all weight classes.
Just limbs akimbo, hoping for the best.
He spends more time prone than he does up.
Okay.
It is not great.
Well, yeah, I'll whistle, we'll call it, and we'll pop out of the simulators.
I apologize. I'm a little rusty. It's been several months since I've been in a simulator.
All right, no, fair enough. Hey, you got to start somewhere. We'll work on this. We'll get you where you need to go. First of all, though, that went the way it went. Are you happy with it? How you feeling?
Oh, it was one of the, I would say it was one of my top 10 best performances.
Okay.
Not number one, obviously. As I mentioned, I was a little rusty. But,
yeah, of course.
It certainly would have been enough to have passed my 100 level Mech Warrior course for my degree.
Okay. Well, you got a long way to go before you're ready for the arenas of Solaris here.
You think like gonna quite get 2 or 3 months?
We'll see how fast you progress. It might be a little longer than that. We've got prodigies here and there that they go faster than that. They go slower than that. I don't know where you're going to lie. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but the stables, do you know our history? Have you heard of Apex Dragons? Did you elect to join us for any particular reason?
Yes, I paid quite a bit of sum to get into this particular training program.
Yeah. What drew your eye?
To be honest, I wanted to have a conversation with Hunter McGregor.
Interesting.
Yes.
Friendly?
I believe that any well-reasoned political argument should be friendly in nature and not resolve itself into something as crass as fisticuffs. I do, however, hold several political differences with his stance on the Chaos March and Northwind in general. It's secession from the Federated Commonwealth. For that matter, I'd like to have a conversation with Mr. Sokolov as well. I am so happy that I was assigned to you, however. Not only have you trained several Mech Warrior interns yourself and are a former stable champion, but you are also a strong believer of the ideals of freedom that the Federated Commonwealth has always upheld as the highest, most important thing that a society can have.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong. Do you have any feelings about the fact that, I do hail from technically a part of the Free Worlds League, and there were some dealings there between, your leadership and mine that have kind of resulted in this current political climate.
You don't look like a Marek to me.
I'm not.
You're not responsible for the decisions that they make.
All right. Well, no, I appreciate that.
I've never seen you speak out against the ideals of freedom of the Federated Commonwealth.
I don't have anything against the idea of freedom, self-determination, all the good things there. No problems there. I think we can agree on those pieces for sure. Although, cohesiveness, unity within the stable, this is something I do care about. So I do hope that we can keep things civil. And obviously that will be up to Hunter a little bit and how he responds to you. I do hope that goes well.
Is cohesiveness a important part of this stable? My research has led me to believe that the opposite is true, that only through a mass chaos, personal callouts, insults, direct threats and actual violence between stable members is how the stable operates. Was I wrong?
No, you're not entirely wrong. That's definitely a fair point. The thing that I would say is that there's parts of this that are for show, parts of this to keep people interested, keep the drama active. And there's parts of it that are real, and it can be tough to distinguish between the two at times. Shoot, I think some of us even forget at times which is which. But that's what makes this place here on Solaris such an interesting adventure. You got to keep your eyes peeled, do your best to understand people and approach them on
when it comes to cohesiveness,
level.
Sir. Can I ask what the policy towards Saya Jade Falcon is?
So on that front, how much does Hillbilly know about what Saya is currently doing with Seth and everything?
It's no secret that Saya and Seth have a death match coming up.
Okay, but do we know why? Like that she is personally holding back Astrid's family?
Yeah, I feel like that would probably not be a secret at this point.
Okay.
I'm sure Astrid would have made everyone well aware of this.
Yeah, so when Percy says that, Hillbilly's face kind of clouds over. There's just extreme anger, which you don't often see on his face, right? Like it is just like his face gets beat red a little bit and he's holding something back. And he says, Percy, now what Saya's doing, she's crossed lines. We put ourselves out there for her to make her feel comfortable, to help her navigate the world through her own sense of honor, and she has in every single way betrayed that trust. I don't know what she is today, but I can't consider her part of this organization.
Even though she appears on the pilot roster, and we turn and he's literally standing next to the pilot roster.
Yeah, business decisions are business decisions. This one's personal.
So he just doesn't say anything. He just is mulling over your unit cohesiveness versus Saya is not one of us. And is coming to realize that maybe you are not as together as he was hoping.
Yeah, cohesiveness. Yeah, all right. It's it's my preference. It's not always the reality. There's idealism and there's realism, and sometimes we have to navigate between the two of them. That's what I got to say about that one.
Ludeman, you're a team leader. And a human being who's existed in this world for some time. I don't need to tell you what it looks like when someone is nodding with you but doesn't agree with you, and basically it's just like, I see, yes.
I see.
This is what it takes to finish this conversation, this uncomfortable conversation.
He's ready to move past it. I get it.
Normally, it's the player characters who are doing this, but in this case, he's doing it to you. He's just like, yes, this.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for today. Yeah, that's what I got to tell you. But, I know I've got some ideas of where we can get you moving to. And Hillbilly will look up at the schedule, go find wherever the thing is, and see where he can find Linhilder at this point.
Yeah.
And go queen, see if he can.
You mean the queen?
The queen. Yes, that's right. That's right. And go see if he can find her.
I mean, if you're looking for the queen, Queen Wasp, she is scheduled to train all week long. She is sharpening up her skills for her next fight. It seems like her training regimen right now is to run Cosmo's death race. Repeatedly.
Okay.
So she can test her jump jet effectiveness for her for her venom.
That's fun. Yeah. So I'll take Percy with me. We'll go look for her and have a quick conversation.
Okay.
If I can get some of her time.
All right. Linhilder sees you coming, and maybe she's between runs and is just like drinking down non-Gatorade flavored colored sports drink electrolyte replacement therapy. There's got to be a Solaris version of that, right? I don't know what it'd be called in the Battletech universe, but there would be a name for it.
Yeah, 100%.
William, seen the news? And she kicks back another lime green non-Gatorade.
Well, there's been a lot of news. Which news you referring to?
the war with the Jade Falcons and the Clan Wolf.
Yeah, things are kicking off, that's for sure. Puts all of us in a weird spot.
I think it's going to be putting Saya in a much weirder spot.
She put herself there. She's made her choices.
When her clan loses, I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't either.
I think we need to be prepared if she has an outburst.
Yeah. I think we are well past that stage. I think there's an outburst no matter what happens.
So yeah, she just makes eye contact with you and says, look, I know you're not Sable champion, but I think a lot of us here look up to and respect you as like a calm source. And I'm just going to tell you, like, I think that I'm going to keep an eye on her in my mech for the next few weeks. Just make sure she doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you got my number. You let me know if you see anything that you need some backup for. I'll be there for you.
Did you need something?
Yeah, actually. So, and he'll introduce her to Percy.
She looks unimpressed, thoroughly unimpressed with this scrawny little, slightly obnoxious, subservient.
Yeah, and she's got that like, well, she was a former miner.
Not just a miner, but a space miner, right?
Yeah.
She towers over this guy. That is just like, is this the kind of material? Right. So let me be clear before she does this, that she's giving you the opportunity to talk this guy up so that you can build trust with him, right? Mm-hmm. Like really basic psychological trainer stuff. So she's just like, is this really the best that the stable can do? Is this little shrimp? He looks mildly offended.
And I talk up the NAIS background and, you know, good pedigree type of thing.
Now, look, normally, right, for anyone else, she would look impressed at this point to help play up this. But like for her, she's really struggling to be like, oh, he's got a good education. That sounds useful. Percival doesn't notice it. He's just like, yes, of course. New Avalon Institute of Science isn't easy to get into. Really takes a lot of talent or money.
Yeah, and Hillbilly will kind of give him a punch on the arm and say, you know, but he doesn't have that much real world experience. Nothing like what you came here with, Lynn. I was hoping that you could maybe just devote an hour or two over the next couple days. Give him a run through. He could use some of your experience with the controls, with the piloting.
No, this thing requires base physicality. So she just like, you know how a cat will like grab another cat by the back of its neck and carry it? She grabs him by the back of his jumpsuit and starts leading him into the gym. And it's just like, I will expect you to keep an eye on Saya for the rest of the day. I'll deal with this thing. And he's like, oh yes, I've done. He's doing like basic arm stretches. I've done some lifting before. And then he looks concerned as she begins putting more and more weight on the dumbbells. Sorry, on the bars. Perfect. Yeah, so he's just like, that might exceed my capacity, and she's just like, shut up.
Do it.
I'll be the judge. I'll be the judge of that. We're gonna put you through your paces, little man.
Perfect. Yeah, that felt like the right move. I mean, she, you know, for one thing, does have like, I think the best piloting out of all of us.
Yes, she's like, a very good pilot.
Some ridiculous margin. So if he's all baby deer style, then she'll be good to help out in that regard. Got to bring him back down to earth.
Right, we'll stop him back in and pilot in space on a moon. He's gonna come back to you and he's gonna be like, I am great at moon combat now. When can I expect all of my matches on the moon?
On the moon.
One time we had a gladiator. Pilot died.
Yeah, we'll start there with good old Percy. We'll come back and check on him. Although I guess Lynn did give me the assignment of watching Saya for the day.
Yeah, I mean, she was going to watch Saya.
Yeah, so I'll keep an eye. I will definitely follow through on that. Keep an eye on that, and work on my next script. It's a buddy cop comedy.
Oh, who's gonna be your buddy in this?
We're not sure yet. We're thinking that one through.
Oh,
Got to put out the casting call, you know.
Interesting.
Could have been Seth. He had his big, you know, breakout moment there, but he's done his he's done his heel turn. So yeah.
Let me throw this at you, right? C-Bill.
Mm-hmm. Oh, perfect. Yeah, there you go. People like that. Yeah, so that'll be what Hillbilly's working on his script is it's his buddy cop comedy with an intended role of C-Bill as his partner there.
Oh, I've heard of this before, right? So there are voice actors that apply to roles where they're like, you need a Laura Bailey type voice, and Laura Bailey will apply to it, and then be like, that's not what we're going for.
That doesn't have it, you know. Oh, that makes sense.
All right, you're actually gonna go track down Saya.
I mean, if Lynn Hilder had the plan for it, and she was at some point close. Yeah, I'll keep that eye out open.
Do you remember Hank Tinkerson?
I do.
All right, so when you go to the spaceport to track Saya at the current Jade Falcon embassy, you're stopped at the edge of the ambassadorial zone by a security mech, and the security mech pilot is gonna like wipe the front of theirs. So it's like a loader mech, but it has arms, but those arms have machine guns over them, right? Okay. So it's a security mech. It's literally just like a up jumped industrial mech. And you hear over the cockpit comms, "Is that you, Mr. the Hillbilly? It's me, Hank Tinkerson."
Oh, hey, bud. How you doing?
Well, I took a part-time job with Spaceport Security after they enjoyed the work that I was doing with Apex Dragons. You know, I lost my mech and I lost my gladiatorial career, but I never lost my thrill of piloting battle mechs. And you know, the pay is pretty good for a weekend gig.
Awesome. So, you just down patrol?
Yeah. What are you doing here? This is the edge of the Clan Jade Falcon exclusion zone.
You know, just kind of taking a stroll, keeping an eye out for any trouble that comes my way. I guess I don't know. Nothing too major.
I don't think that's
living some life.
I don't think that's legal to pilot a battle mech with the intent to self-defense straight. Could you hold here? I am detaining you for a moment real quick. I'm going to need you to power down your weapon systems and disengage your fusion core real quick while I...
Don't worry, they're not powered. They're not powered. Flicking switches, is he?
I'm going to need to consult my manual real quick. All right.
This is poorly thought
you
out.
literally just confessed to a police officer that you're like, yep, I'm going to take my gun and go walk around town, make sure there's
I didn't realize that I was actually in my mech at that point.
Okay. Oh, you're on foot? All right, never mind then.
Yeah, I was just...
If you're on foot, then he's just like, look, sir, okay, so he's looking down at you then. For some reason, I thought he's looking up at your mech. Sir, I'm going to need to confiscate any weapons that you have right now. Let me come down there real quick after I get some backup here.
Hillbilly's got a phone and like a camera.
It's just like 1014. This is 13 Abrams at Sector 4, Jade Falcon exclusion zone. Gonna need some backup here. Then a few minutes later, he like comes down and pats you down. He's like, "Look, I'm real sorry about this, sir, but the code is the code."
Hey, look, I understand you're just doing your job. I was just taking a stroll, and like, look, Saya's on, in my stable ostensibly. I might have wanted to have a few words with her. I didn't make an appointment. That's my fault.
Of course. This is all a misunderstanding. I'll tell you what. I'll keep this off of the official records. How about that?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay. So he like gets into his little, he literally looks like mall security, right? This is 13 Abrams. Cancel all ongoings here. 14 Abrams, you can RTB. Repeat RTB.
Yeah. And before he heads out, Hillbilly will just kind of has Hank come out of the mech at this point to talk to me, or
No,
is he
yes,
still up?
he waited for backup to show up. Then he climbed down out of the mech to search you and like issue a warning. Like,
yeah, like so Hillbilly will kind of just say to him, "Look, Hank, I know you're a good guy. I know you care about people.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Like, do you think you could do me a favor? Is while you're in and out, like if you see anything." Just you're doing your job. If you see anything weird happening with Saya, could you just send a note our way? Like things are weird between all of us right now.
Right? Like
weirder than normal.
Okay.
It's Clan Jade Falcon. I don't expect anything to be exactly normal here. But
Yeah. I agree with that. Definitely, rarely.
Everything that's happening between Clan Wolf, Clan Jade Falcon, like. I'm sure I don't have to explain.
I caught a bit of that on the news this morning. Natasha Kerensky died a couple of days ago, huh?
It's heating up, and our stable has somehow managed to get right in the middle of all of this. All right, so I'm just worried about people.
You have a Wolf and a Jade Falcon in the same unit. I think that they seem to be fighting for their lives, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just trying to keep all the rest of us as safe and secure as we can be.
Well, as long as Seth and Saya don't have some sort of showdown, you should be good, right?
Right.
You're like, well,
you got it. Oh shoot. Yeah, Hillbilly the Spy, not very effective.
All right. But your good friend Hank Tankerson has agreed to, if he sees anything weird, which is almost meaningless when it comes to Saya, he'll send you a call.
There we go. We got at least something.
So you can physically see a dropship with Clan Wolf markings planted right next to Saya's Emerald Talon. Both ships appear to have turned all of their weapon systems to lock onto each other. And both ships appear to have deployed elementals, and like the Wolf ship has deployed one mech, and the Jade Falcon ship has deployed several mechs. Just basically stare at each other. And you think that maybe this has been going on for a really long, like for days. They just swap out who's on patrol, Cold War, staring at each other across the demarcation line.
This bodes well.
Because the Clan Wolf ship is impounded. The Jade Falcons maintain that the property on it is a future property of Clan Jade Falcon and or a asset deployed in this war that isn't ready to be transitioned to a third party until the war is over. Everything from Clan Jade Falcon's point of view, that ship is being held in escrow.
Yeah.
And the people aboard it are also on escrow.
Oh, that's awful.
Listen, season 2 was good. Season 1 was going to be clans are bad. And season 2 is going to be mafia bad. Grr. But we had to flip those seasons.
We did.
And you know what? This might have actually worked out better for grr, clans bad.
Yeah. It's getting shown. That's for damn sure. Saya took her heel turn very seriously.
Yeah. Dude, just listen. The heel turn hasn't really begun yet.
Yeah, I'm nervous for,
you should be. It's going to keep getting worse.
I have a feeling it will. Well, at least I managed to not get arrested in this incident.
Perfect.
So
you were just briefly detained.
Yeah. Everybody's been briefly detained at least once.
I have not been briefly detained.
I am kidding.
Technically I've been pulled over by a police officer for driving the speed limit.
See, there you go. That counts. You were delayed.
Yeah, you're right. Like Gandalf, I was delayed to go see my grandmother.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything else I wanted to get done? How about let's go check in on Ro. We haven't seen Ro.
Oh my goodness. No one has seen Ro. Amazing. Where are you going to see Ro?
Oh man. So he's kind of gone on his journey to find himself.
He's gone on a journey to understand Inisher culture. And has come out of that journey having spiritually cleansed himself of Clan Jade Falcon ways, and now considers himself a citizen of the Star League.
All right.
So he wears he basically wears like a snuggie, like a white snuggie with gold thread all the time, with a Cameron star on it now. Oh yeah, he definitely has the cult leader hair now. You know, slicked back. He's got a weird look in his eyes too. He says,
a little too intense.
William the Hillbilly, welcome to my office. It's good to see you again. No one has come to see me since the stable has reinitiated itself.
Yeah. Does he still work for Apex Dragons?
Yes, he still holds the same. He's still an Aztec, but he also holds a position of like a strategic counselor.
Right. Okay. Yeah, man. So it's been a weird few years, that's for sure. How you doing over the last couple days here? Things have kicked off pretty hot and heavy.
To what are you referring?
Clan Jade Falcon and Clan Wolf. And
you're speaking of the Refusal War.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
The Jade Falcons will be crushed. My strategic outlooks are rarely wrong. They don't have the forces or the tactical acumen necessary to defeat Ilkhan Ulrich Kerensky. They have chosen foolishly to bid themselves into this battle.
I kind of hope you're right there. Saya, did you hear what Saya's doing?
Yes, it is very Jade Falcon of her.
Impressive. You know, impressive. Yeah, it's impressively stupid on her part, burning every ounce of goodwill that she ever earned over the last 5 years.
I disagree. This is exactly the kind of behavior one should have expected from her.
You know, you're right. You're probably right. Although I just look at you. You've grown. You've changed. I had this like notion in mind that Saya would have as well. And like there's a flashback, and you get like Saya and Astrid and Hillbilly out like for a night on the town, like trying to, you know what I mean? They're all wearing like the Saya Jade Falcon heart sunglasses together.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when I asked Lawson what icon he wanted on the table for Saya's fight versus Seth, he said the heart glasses Saya.
Yeah, there we go.
We're getting classic Saya. So yeah, this is also classic Saya. She's got the heart glasses on. In every scene, she inexplicably has a full slushie. She just loves those things. So Rose says, Saya has done quite a bit for this stable, helping keep it alive even when it was on the verge of financial disruption. I feel that she has been a loyal employee, although her recent actions are egregious. She is certainly not the only one to have taken an unusual, violently political stance within the stable.
Yeah, that seems to come up every now and again. I can't disagree with you there. I mean,
there
really,
is
I
no
think...
small measure of irony to have Hunter McGregor calling her out.
Ain't that the truth? Oh man, things with Hunter. I got this new intern, Percy, who's looking to have a conversation with him. You know, I have a feeling that ain't going to be too cordial. You know, at the end of the day,
Percival was added to the intern list against my recommendation. He's a dead-end candidate. He won't go anywhere.
Why do you say that?
I've looked at his file, between his genetic profile, the way he was raised, his grades, his obvious inability to get over himself. There's a very, very low chance he'll ever become even a middling mech warrior.
Shit. Well, it looks like I got my work cut out for me, because he's my responsibility.
You sure? Dump him on someone else.
Well, I've got him training with Linhilder for a little bit right now. See if we can shake out those wobbly legs he's got.
Dump him on someone else. We like Linhilder.
Someone.
She's useful.
Bro, I appreciate your frank, way of looking at the world and the opinions you provide. It's a breath of fresh air.
He just gives you a nod.
Oh, you got anything fun going on? You working on anything? Any projects?
Just remember, he's like sitting in a Snuggie across from you in his chair.
Totally.
He basically looks like a human caterpillar getting ready to become a butterfly. Yes,
his cocoon
is a thing that I do like to pursue. You're correct. I've been meeting with Anthony. Well, obviously his last name isn't actually Bertoli, but Big Tony Bertoli has been stopping by here, and we are former colleagues, of course. And
Yeah.
he has a unusual ability to get himself on the list for Italian restaurants.
Well, shoot, you need a word in anywhere. You can always just give me a call. I happen to know quite a few people. And out of character, this is also Hillbilly saying, hey, like if anybody needs a meeting set up, I do have knows everybody and can set up meetings and matches.
Oh, incredible. Listen, I thought this is going to be the most taken book, and it has just been ignored constantly. You realize now that you've put yourself on a death track, right? The only other person to have this book also died immediately after getting it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. At least I'm not a patron.
The true touch of death. All right. So he writes down a restaurant and a time and says, if you could get reservations for the two of us tonight, I would be honored to have dinner with you.
You got it. Let's roll. I'll make my phone call and get it set up.
All right. It's like a American Japanese fusion restaurant where they serve, you know, like burgers, but with sides of like piles of rice and like furikake and kimchi.
Yeah.
It's a true fusion place.
There's a place that does what they call them Fury fries. That is, those are really good.
What is this? I've never heard of this.
Furikake and like the sweet mayo that they put on there is all good. Oh
my god, with ginger dipping sauce? This looks amazing.
Yeah. So good.
Holy shit. I need to get a restaurant like this around here. We just got some basic ass shit.
Definitely recommend it.
All right, yeah. So Ro is just wants to have like a gentleman's night out with you today.
All right, yeah, we go have some fun, catch up.
You have several other things to do today. Before that,
of course, of course. I mean, that's all I had on my plate. Really, I wanted to figure out if Hillbilly and Astrid were aware of what was going on with Saya, and
everyone is aware of what's going on with Saya.
That's
you work in an industry where
deal.
Rumor is the most important and fastest way to transmit information.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, that was really everything I had on my list that I can remember. Anyway, I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting.
Okay. You're going to your interview then?
Yeah, let's do it.
William is seated across from you in a paramilitary version of a Free Worlds League military outfit, specifically with patches for the Duchy of Andurian. And he says, William, come to find out, today you'll be taking on your former protege for the first time.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of questions to surround this, and take them in whatever order you'd like. How does it feel knowing that someone that you have created will now be battling you to take your rank? How does it feel knowing that you could be on your way down the ladder at the hands of your own stable? Do you expect that your relationship with Astrid, aka Skadi, will in fact influence her actions on the battlefield? What are your feelings going into the match? There's a lot to break down there. Take it in whatever order you need to.
I mean, William, I got a lot of feelings about this. I'll be honest. I'm nervous. I'm, excited. We haven't put our skills to the test against each other in the real world here before, but how do I sum it up? Climbing these ranks, doing this job is hard. You come up against a lot of things, but you're reaching for the top, but if you're praying for rain, you can't complain about the lightning. And this is one of those moments, this isn't what I want, right? Like, I don't want to go out there and be up against my friend, somebody that I care about, in this type of situation where, one or both of us could wind up injured, maimed, dead. that's part of this game, you know, and I accept that. I accept that on both fronts. I can tell you, I'm not as worried about winning this one as I am about both of us coming out the other end. And that's what I can sum it up as.
Is that everything you have to say about this?
Well, yeah. I mean, from an emotional perspective, yeah, that's really what it boils down to.
You know, speaking of an emotional perspective, I want to ask you to comment on a photo that the Donegal Broadcasting Company received. Now, I think you already know that we have a very low opinion of paparazzi here. But that said, they did capture several photos that I think tell a story. So it's like you from a weird angle walking towards the Jade Falcon exclusion zone, like you being stopped, you being searched by the police, and your face looks kind of weird. Like, you know, you've got like your hands up and he's searching your pockets, and you're like, ugh. Why don't you tell us what's happening in these photos here?
What's happening? You know, I was out for a stroll, heading my way over to go chat with our stablemate, check out the state of things. Yes, I.
These photos seem to indicate you didn't actually go to talk to her. You stopped and turned around.
Well, that's right. Things have heated up in that area, and you know, who's in charge of the spaceport security? Is it
the Solaris Civic Council?
Yeah, the Solaris Civic Council has ramped up security in the area. You know, even myself, who's got a working relationship with folks in that area, I wasn't able to get in to chat with anybody.
So you were too afraid to speak with Saya.
Too afraid? No, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about approaching on productive grounds. And, you know, the way things were looking at that point, it just didn't seem productive.
What if we could get Saya on the line right now? Would you talk with her?
She's got something to say to me. I suppose we can have a chat. But I don't know what there is to say right now.
So let me understand this right. You went to see her, but you didn't have anything you wanted to talk about. You were stopped by the police and turned around after having successfully negotiated your way to the dropship.
Well, I was, like I said, I was barred entry. I was not allowed in. And as far as what I wanted to talk to her about, it's emotional right now. Like I said, this is not a normal time for me or our stable. You know, it might feel normal because we do tend to get up to drama, but no, this is not normal. This is not okay. I'm not happy with the way things are.
He gives you the sure enough nod when you say this is what you normally. He's like, sure enough.
But I ain't happy with her. And yeah, I want to have words with her. But like, man, it comes and goes. I know when I'm not going anywhere. I'm just spinning my wheels because I'm angry. And I'm angry. And
so
that's
you're
what
angry
that boils
with
down
Jade
to.
Falcon.
I am angry with Saya Jade Falcon.
You seem like a man who doesn't get angry very often.
I don't. I tend to take life as it comes. And this is just not one I want to take lying down. And not one I think that, yeah, she ain't smart for making this choice. She's burning bridges. And she is Jade Falcon. If this is Jade Falcon, then shoot, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Somewhere out there, Vimy Diamond Shark is laughing himself to death. He's going to clip that. If this is Jade Falcon, then I don't want nothing to do with it. And in 6 months, it's going to be everywhere in clan space. It's going to be the greatest meme that any... So they don't have memes in clan space. So like young blood spirits are going to be listening to this on their Walkmans. They're going to be like, yeah, if that's Jade Falcon, I don't want nothing to do with it.
You're welcome.
Oh, the hillbilly. Perfect. Because dunking on Jade Falcon is the most clan thing you could do.
Just winning points. Oh man, yeah.
All right.
Well, you got any other
questions?
And I'm good to go. Let's get to it.
All right. So of course,
Astrid, good luck.
Your match is tomorrow, right? Because these take place the night before the match, and so you have your dinner with with Ro.
Mm-hmm.
He has chosen to finally dress as a normal human would, doing normal human things. He seems to have remembered how to button shirts up correctly.
He's figured that out.
Yeah, he still very much has the like cult leader look to him, because he wears like a crisp white dress shirt with like a collar, well pressed, no tie. But maybe he has a tie, but it's like undone so that he looks more folksy. You know what I mean, right? Like, I just got off of work. Then like blue jeans with a Jade Falcon belt buckle.
There you go. That's interesting. Yeah, Hillbilly's obviously, denim, but this will be a dark denim, black jeans,
Oh, wait, are we doing the full denim suit, or are we doing the Justin Timberlake?
No, we're not going Canadian tuxedo, but
That's not what that's called. I would have called that a Texas tuxedo, but okay.
No, I mean, there's more cause for it up north. It gets a little chilly.
Okay. Sure.
No, this is dark jeans, the big belt, and t-shirt style thing. Not quite as formal.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything specifically you wanted to cover, or you just want to have a man night with a bro?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get catch up with Ro, see what he's been up to, see if he had any fun plans for the future here, or what his take on the Jade Falcon.
He probably invites you to play bar games with him.
Okay.
Listen, I haven't been to a bar in some years. This might shock you because, as you may know, I actually don't like being near people in real life, and that was before COVID. But I understand that bars now are going like the Dave and Buster's route and having like electronic games and trivia games built into the bar now. So
there's
feel like
a lot
in
of
the
themed places.
31st century, they've probably, especially on Solaris, the cultural capital of the galaxy, they probably have some pretty sick stuff.
They got something. I feel like Hillbilly would try to convince him to go something a little bit more like less of the electronic games and the trivia games, and like go to like an axe throwing place or like a duck pin bowling or something.
Oh man, he would love to go to an axe throwing place.
All right, done. So that's what they get up to.
Look, he's tried to get more rugged and outdoorsy.
There you go. Break into that down home flavor.
All right, because you definitely don't want to play trivia with a person who is genetically engineered to be super smart.
That's not fair.
With one of the top
see how he chucks an axe.
Yeah, I was going to say. See how he chucks it. Not well. He still has the clan engineered superior genes, but not the technique.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. The morning of your match, anything happening, or you're just marching in a combat?
Yeah, the morning of the match, he'll definitely seek out Astrid and just,
All right.
Bring her a cup of coffee or whatever he knows she likes, and kind of wish her luck.
She's got a photo shoot before the match, so she's in her full Skadi costume, so like the ski pants and like furry fluffy parka, and like the hair done up so it's not draping everywhere, and just the whole like icy but also like heartwarming I'm better than you thing. And she's just like, oh, thank you. She takes a sip of coffee and goes, absolutely terrible.
Just how you like it?
Yeah.
Perfect. How's the shoot going?
Loud slurping noises.
Yeah. Looking forward to today?
No. I didn't want to have to face you here.
I
will pass you. I am a very good mech warrior. But I didn't want to have to fight you. You've had some bad luck recently.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Right back at you.
I've injured several mech warriors recently.
Yeah.
Bray's Velgar is a well-engineered machine.
That it is. That thing's scary.
Are you?
Man.
That's me. For those that are listening instead of watching, that was me clearing my throat because I'm like dying right here. I gotta go get some water at some point. Are you afraid, William?
I'm afraid of the outcome where one or both of us winds up doing something that we regret, right? You know, same thing as you. I don't want to see either of us come out of here with some life-altering injury or life-stopping one either. That's my biggest worry about today.
Try not to take any risks today with your life.
Right back at
like
you.
any other match.
Keep it clean. Keep it crisp.
Well, shoot straight. Don't miss.
That's right. That's right. And he'll reach out for the like handshake, but I assume it's like, you know, he's going for the forearm shake version there.
Sure, she'll do that. Look, she's a huntress. I feel like she's got enough tomboy to do the man.
That's
shake.
what I'm screaming. That feels like what her vibe would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just leave it there, and I better go get ready. Good luck. I'll see you out there.
As she turns to leave, you have a flashback to a time when you were very young, and the Duchy of Andurian was going to win its freedom, and like your parents had this same look in their jumpsuits as they turned and walked away from you. And at the bottom of the screen, it says Battletech Episode 3 coming soon. I don't know if I've made it a secret yet, but we're filming Battletech Episode 3 this week, and it's going to be the Young Hillbilly episode. So prepare yourselves for that.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, we do the overlay of like she's walking away and you flash back and she from this angle with the sunlight hitting her, turning into a profile, looks kind of like the profile of your mom, and then your dad like appears in the image as well, as the two of them go and get in their mechs for freedom.
That's right.
That will definitely end well.
Perfectly dovetailing to that, Hillbilly's mind flashes over to his mech, Buttercup, which happens to be named after his mother's favorite flower. And he's actually updated the paint job on there with on the big cannon, just some bright yellow buttercups are ringing the cannon itself.
Perfect. Bringing it all together. We're just gonna have all the shows crossover all the time now. All right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Anything else you want to do? All right, let's switch over to the battlefield then. Talk about the mechs that we'll be fighting in today. I don't think I need to express what mech you're in or the Hraesvelgr. Well, I guess the audience might not have seen Hraesvelgr, but yeah. It's not like she has many mechs to choose from. Still with the supercharger, the Ultra AC-10, the 5 medium lasers, a brawler that is wickedly strong at short range with TSM, which you have previously used to pretty good effect. I was not able to erase all these things off of your mech sheet for some reason, so we'll just pretend that they're not there. And then you will be fighting Astrid in her Hraesvelgr, custom designed by our sponsors. A targeting computer, 3 ER medium lasers, paired to a Gauss rifle. It's pretty fucking sick. All mounted on a Clan XL mech. Superior armor, superior jump jet maneuverability, superior range.
Yeah,
she's got a lot of advantages going into this match.
Has me in every way.
All right, let's roll for initiative.
Yeah, you got it.
Where's those free Rasselhag Republic dice? The Rasselhag Republic may be mostly dead, but our love for it is not.
That's right.
5. Okay,
I got
11
a 10.
isn't that good. All right, she loses by a lot. Which side of the battlefield would you like to come in on?
Which side would I like? Let's see.
How do you think you can turn this match to let you win?
That's a great question. I mean, staying closer to short range is probably my best option. Because that range, what is it? Those ER mediums come out to 15 hexes.
getting close to her, losing initiative, her jumping behind you, and it being over when she Gauss rifles.
Oh, of course. There is
torso.
no like optimal range for
She
this
has no
engagement
weaknesses.
for
It's
me.
impossible to defeat her.
Literally, like there are basically none at a simple level. Like I would have to hover at exactly like 8 hexes the entire time.
She has the same weakness as everyone else does, which includes loss of blood.
Yeah, I just gotta hit her until she stops, right? I will start up over on this side, I guess.
Okay, interesting. Just gonna start right here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so this is the 2nd generation Vapor Hawk, by the way, or Goshawk. Sorry, Vapor Eagle or Goshawk. They definitely made it look more cartoonish and Gundam-y, but they kept the shoulder flanges. It just isn't as sharp as the 1st generation image was. I actually like the original one better.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool looking mech no matter how you look at it.
Well, it's definitely a product of the late 90s, early 2000s release.
Yeah.
Clan Invasion introduced a lot of really sharp mechs. All right. I'm still off center, huh? How did I do this? How did I mess this up so bad? Here we go. Get those FRR dice.
Here we go.
Love. Double ones. Never mind.
Well, that's a 10 for me again. So
sure.
After
great.
you.
She doesn't move. She's right where she
does
wants
not
to be.
move.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Jesus.
Oh, I forgot you're fucking fast as shit.
Yeah. Okay, so I will go ahead and activate the supercharger.
Sure.
Roll for that. Passes.
Press the wrong button.
So that puts me at a 612 right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that was let's see.
9 hexes, huh? You like living like super dangerously.
That's yeah. 11 hexes moved for me. So that's a +4. +4.
Okay, she's gonna. Can she alpha strike? Probably should have figured this out before. Oh yeah, she will definitely alpha strike. Gauss rifle first. Oh no! Come on! No! No! All right, she misses. Barely misses.
Perfect.
Oh well, this hits at least. Left leg or whatever.
For 7
laser. Yeah, that sounds right. That's a miss as well. And that is a hit. Right leg for 7.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Legs are taking a little bit of a beating here.
Yep. 1 for each.
Even with that target computer, the Gauss rifle misses. So, like, I don't know how often you've had Gauss rifles fired at you, right? But it exceeds the speed of sound. So I just want to go the anime roots that Battletech started with. Like, you're running forward, you're expecting this to happen, and you see the charge up down the barrel of the Gauss rifle. You, like, see the flash. And then you never see the projectile come towards you, right? You just hear a sonic boom that almost starts behind you. And then you just see the air rip where the shell was. Like, you see the after effect of it, and your rear sensors pick up the projectile skipping off the water behind you, throwing up a massive wall of water. You're just like, huh?
And Hillbilly on open comms will be like, "Ooh, Astrid, I think I just peed a little."
She says nothing to your crass comments.
She secretly loves it. It's okay. And then I'm going to open up with the AC-10 in ultra mode and 5 medium lasers.
Sure.
So that puts me at 2 plus 2 is 4. And that is it. 4 to hit. No, sorry. That was a short range, and we are at 9. So it is 6 for the medium lasers and 5 for the AC-10. So here's the AC-10 first. Shooting on a 5. That hits. Not enough on the cluster, but that's okay. It happens. Location 10, left arm. And then here's the first medium laser hitting on a 6. That's a hit. Center torso.
Okay.
Second. That's a hit. Left arm.
Okay. Left arm.
Third.
So well.
That's a hit. Center torso. And fourth is a miss. Do I use a lucky yet? It's not really an amazing hit, so we'll let that go. And the fifth shot is a hit. Location 10, left arm with
Internal.
Zeko. That's internal. That's a 9 on the crit. Is that
That's
2
one.
crits? 1 crit.
Come on over. Roll a d6.
Not just 1, huh? It is 3.
Lower arm actuator.
And that should be enough for a PSR, right?
She passes barely. She really struggled. You could tell that she's not as used to piloting this as her STLF Shadowhawk, and she's like struggling to stay up. But she does manage to like get into a crouch, almost like a surfer, and finally get her balance again before turning towards you. All right, let's talk about the heat situation. How are you doing?
I will go. Oh, I'm not at 19 this time.
I was
I
gonna
will
say,
go
that
up.
would be bad.
Let's see. It's 5.
Yep. Back to me. Let's roll. Jesus.
It's a 9.
Okay. All right. He just jumped.
Okay. So let's see. Moving at a 5.8 right now.
When I kick on that supercharger again. Come on. What could be the
What is it? It only goes up by 1 each time, right?
I don't think that's right. It's a curve, right? It increases by like 2.
It's like 3, 5.
The target number increases by 2 each consecutive. So now
Okay.
it's 5. Now it's a 5 plus is what you need. Come on, what are the odds you couldn't hit a 5 plus twice with a lucky reroll?
I mean, they're not that bad. That's for sure. But do I need it right this second to get into a good position? Probably.
Well, all you need to get into a good position is to walk in, give a firm handshake, and look him in the eye.
Oh, that's that boomer advice, right?
You'll be a vice president by tomorrow.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's risk it. We'll activate the
Excellent.
supercharger.
I managed to talk him into this audience.
You did. That's a
You
pass.
rolled really good. Never mind.
So that's I can move 10 this time. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's
That's
11.
1, 2,
Because it's
3,
heavy
4,
woods.
5, 6. Oh, that counts too. Hmm. Hmm. Dip, 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 dip. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
There we go. And then, so there's no cost to the woods in front because the line of sight, because she's higher, right?
Yeah. So it's the woods next to you is what counts. So she has a +3 to hit you, and you have a +1 to hit her.
Okay. No, we'll take it. 1,
Sure.
2, 3, 4. That's what, a +2 on the run.
All right. She's up.
Sorry, just a
again,
+1.
Leading with Goss. Misses again.
Whew.
Left leg for 7.
Loving these leg shots, huh?
Yeah. Some garbage rolls, actually. Really awful. If I could snap that leg off, that would be great.
What is happening with the counter?
Huh?
Negative 76.
I don't know. I'll
Weird.
just roll again
Anyway.
and clear it. Man, hitting these 12s and now that I don't need them, huh?
All right,
That's
so
not,
you finish shooting?
Wait a second. That's not 12. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yep, I'm done shooting.
All right. Well, yeah, that's going to be AC-10 and 5 medium lasers again for me. We are at how many hexes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to be, yeah, same range as last time. So that puts me at starting at 2 + 2, 4 plus the 1 for the light woods, 5 + 3, so 8. So 9 to hit with the AC-10 and 10s to hit with the medium lasers. Not great. Here's the AC-10 first. That'll hit, and that's both shots hit. First location 6, right torso.
Sure.
And the second location is left torso.
Okay.
10s to both of those. All right. Oh, screen froze. Okay, there we go. And first medium laser hitting on A10 is a miss. Second is a miss. Third is a miss. Fourth is a hit. Location 9, left leg.
Okay.
It's too bad that didn't go through. And the fifth is a miss. What's that left leg look like?
20.
Oh, it's totally fine. Never mind.
She stays standing.
All right.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
I want to be let down, just like I was let down when the Free Wrestlehag Republic got destroyed instantly. Another
8
5.
for me.
These dice are garbage. They're absolute trash.
Yes. This is the way.
This is not the way. This is the way to lose. More
Where
like,
you going?
It's a great question.
Oh, I got to build my heat.
Oh, I actually built some heat. Okay.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we stop here. That is actually still a run.
That's 7 hexes, right?
2 hexes. So that's
it's a 0.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Where's the 0 dice?
No, just use the 0 dice is for if you didn't move at all. Just put a 6 on there. It's okay. We know. We know.
We understand.
7 is going to be medium for the ERs, and the Gauss is going to be short. Okay, I'm Alpha striking again. Gauss rifle hits, 15 damage, right torso.
Okay.
Left leg 7 with the critical.
It does go through.
Well, you're about to taste some pain. 6 is nothing. 3 is lower leg actuator.
What's that do?
Oh, those aren't pilot checks. So you're now making 2 pilot checks. Good, not good. All right. Laser 2 is also a hit. Right leg for 7.
Okay.
How's that one? Did I get that one too?
Got 6 armor.
Let's hit it again. That's a miss. It would hit the left torso. That's
which is fine.
Anything. Yeah. All right. I'll let that slide then. Gain 1 heat. And that's it for me.
Okay. So let's see. 4 plus 2, 6. That's the 1 for heat. 7 plus 1 for range. So 8 to hit with the AC-10. So I'll be firing the AC-10 and 3 mediums. 8 for the AC-10, 9 for the medium lasers. AC-10 coming up. Yes, can use a point of lucky to re-roll the hit there.
Very well. Show me your power. Nope.
It's oh, so close.
I love the idea that the first shell goes past her, right? Then the second ultra loaded shell like zooms in and she ducks just slightly out of the way, so
just that
the air deforms over her cockpit as it goes flying.
Whoosh. Oh, just enough. All right, so 3 medium lasers hitting on 9s.
Sure.
Is a miss. Second is a miss, and the third
rolls now.
Yep, is a miss. All right.
All right. You need to make 2 PSRs at +2.
Sheets clean. Oh man. Okay. So what do I got to hit? Is there like extras on these? +2 on both of them.
Yep.
So I got to hit what? So my 3. I'm at 3. So 5s to stay standing. Huh?
That's right.
Ooh, that's a miss. So here's lucky to my second point of luck.
How many luckies do you have?
I have 2.
You're about to lose out on how lucky you are. Just
there we
lucky
go.
enough.
Just
the other
All right. And God,
incredible. What do you want to do? You still have an edge, right?
I do have an edge, but that edge is
yeah,
about the only way I survive a Gauss to the head.
Yeah. You have to make a decision.
What does Hillbilly want to do?
This is like watching a Hunter McGregor match. So painful.
Yeah, this is painful. Let's see. What would he do in this? I mean, he doesn't want to take chances coming into this one.
But if you lose to your protege, that's it. Everybody's gonna meme on you forever.
That's okay. Hillbilly's all right with a little bit of memeing.
Millennial.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's just gonna be images of you and her standing across from each other, and it's just a text at the bottom says, "The circle is now complete. Now I am the master."
Yeah, that's okay. But the Hillbilly, he'll take the the fall here, I think.
Oh, watch this be career ending. It's just
Probably.
multiple head hits. Okay.
We don't know. Nobody likes it.
So you turn 2 to the left. What's the weight of your mech? You're 50 tons, right?
50 tons, yeah.
Take 5 points of damage on your left side.
Okay.
To the left arm.
Okay.
5. Okay. And then you need to make another check at the +2 to not take pilot damage.
That's 7.
Okay, so no pilot damage. You catch yourself on the way down. Yeah, your foot's actuator is sparking right now, right? Every time you move it to try to stand back up, you just...
It's getting creaky.
All right. You didn't hit her at all, so I didn't even roll for anything there.
Nope.
How many Gosh shots? So I have plenty. I have plenty of Gosh shots.
What do I do on heat? Yep.
Oh no! I just rolled an 11 on initiative.
9. So I go first.
Go first. You're prone.
And
what would you like to
stand up.
How much movement are you willing to commit? Are you at a run?
Oh, everything that I got.
You kicking the supercharger in?
I haven't used it yet, and didn't use it last turn. I mean, so yeah, let's go ahead and turn it on in case I need it.
Commit yourself to 14 points of movement if you're successful.
Like, I don't have to move that many points, right? Like, I just can move them.
if you don't, right? If you commit to walking, if you fail 3 times, you're done at that point.
Yeah. I got you. All right, let's get up.
Supercharger.
That's a 5.
Sure.
So up I go.
And, so you aren't turning on the supercharger. You're just running regularly?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't need it if I stand up. So I'm just going to say that yeah, I'm not going to use it.
Okay. All right. You're up. You can face any direction you want when you stand.
Okay. Well, we'll just do that. And then we'll just stand still from there.
So you've committed to running. So you still are going to take a +2 to your...
That's totally fair.
Outgoing shots. Damn it. You have made me very desperate. So the problem is I want to leverage the fact that I get a really good defensive bonus if I jump, right?
Yep.
It gives me a very small outgoing to hit, but there aren't many places I can jump, maintain good positioning, and give me enough range to force you to kick yourself into long range.
Yeah.
Almost all of my movements require me getting close, but not close enough, or going to some place that will not be good.
Hillbilly gets the hunchback to do a little like brush his shoulders off and reach out with the palm.
Okay. All right, Morpheus, calm down.
I mean, student. Come on, Skadi, stick and move. You know what to do.
Damn it. All right, I'm just going to stand still. Just unleash the power. You shoot first.
She's going. I shoot first, you said?
Yeah, because you lost initiative.
That's right. I sure did.
Now I'm about to receive my punishment for standing still. Tons and tons of damage.
Oh, boy. So the run counts. Is that the run counts for the heat as well, right?
Yes.
So let's see. I will fire the AC-10 in Ultra, 3 medium lasers, and a small laser uselessly. And let's see, that's 2 + 2, 4. You have no movement. So we're still at 7 hexes, correct?
I believe so.
So that's a 5 to hit with the AC-10, a 6 with the medium lasers. So AC-10 up first. Oh, that's a miss. And the first medium laser is a hit. Left arm. That's internal, right?
How much?
There's a crit. 5.
Okay, it is internal. I have 1 internal left after that, so good luck rolling. You gotta hit a 1, 2, or 4.
That's a 1.
Okay, shoulder's gone.
That makes a huge difference. And let's see.
Guns, yes.
Yeah, the second medium laser there is a hit. Location 9, left leg.
Okay.
And the last is a hit. Location 7, center torso.
All right. She unleashes her barrage.
Feel the burn.
Oh, she hits center torso with the Gauss rifle.
Okay. That's where I have the most armor. So I guess
that's also
that's
where
good.
you have the most to lose.
That's true.
Right torso for 7.
Right torso for 7. Oh, that goes internal.
Uh-oh. Right, let me just hold on a second. I'm reversing time because I don't remember if there was a critical. I have reversed time. There was no critical. Okay. The next shot did hit, but now I have to fast forward time. Holy shit, dude. Hold on a sec. All right, the shot hit right torso as well.
Okay.
Third shot.
So you said second shot also hit right torso
I
for
believe
7?
so, yeah. And then third shot also hits there for 7.
Well, that's it. Match is over.
Oh, AC-10 goes down, huh? Thanks.
Yeah, well, the fusion engine's the part that is the problem.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
It's a dead mech.
All right, I apologize for... I didn't think you were out of right torso armor. I was like, all right, no reason to check for a critical here. Just gonna keep going. Wow. I thought for sure it was going to be the legs. You just carved the right torso out.
I mean, you came close on those legs too, though.
Wow, we need to talk about the punishingly high cost that you just invoked on repairs.
Yeah. It's a beast.
Talking 2, right? Because you're a custom... It's not... Oh, sorry, it's not clan. But it's a custom...
It is custom.
With internal damage. So, 3. And then you drop it down to 2. Yep. I mean, at this point, like, Buttercup is like cord. Like,
yeah.
You lost a fusion engine. I guess you didn't take internal damage to the fusion engine, but it's gone. So, like, repairs are going to be quite expensive, as I'm sure you know. And, you know, your mech tech skill lets you set aside some spare parts like armor and such, but you don't have a spare fusion core lying around perfectly kitted to this machine. Oh,
yeah, we'll be scrounging.
Isn't the supercharger attached to the fusion core? So, like, you're going to have to get the supercharger retuned as well?
Yep. This is Hillbilly's just like, just imagining nights and weekends essentially over the next few weeks.
Okay, well, Skadi, of course, takes your rank.
Yeah, she is now rank 50, and I am whatever that does to me.
You're rank 56. All right. You're now I have to plot who's coming at you from below as well.
I know. This is
this is gonna be a great
brutal.
Cow you again. He's out of prison and he stabs you a second time.
That's just sad. I have to run through that missile storm one more time. Man, that Gauss rifle Vapor Eagle is pretty beastly.
Yeah. You should never have let the audience buy it for her.
Did I have a choice?
No, that's the best part.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, that was definitely quite the tech advantage. I mean, I held in there longer than I actually expected to, so I'm pretty happy with that.
You get word that your next opponent will be Ezekiel Novacat, who's looking to recover from the punishment you've given him before.
Oh, Zeke. Yeah. Well, he foresaw my loss last time and did come true. No, I lost that one against him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
For some
that
reason,
was the one that I used to
remember
crab.
Ezekiel losing all of his matches, but
No, that was the one that he actually did beat me. I was in the crab on that one and could not get anything to hit. Like I missed every single machine gun shot.
you know, these stable unstable matches are always the best because the investors lose no matter what happens.
It's true. Yeah, they got something
They have too much money now. You know what I mean? Like somebody's got to take that money away from them. How hurt was her mech? She did take some internal
stripped armor.
Yeah,
that was about it, right? Besides that arm.
I mean, it's an internal damage to a custom clan mech. It's 4 wealth repair.
Yeah, I mean, it costs a lot of money. You know, from an operational perspective, Hillbilly's like, I barely did shit to it. Like, clan mech, they don't need arms.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, from that perspective, yes, but replacing that arm is going to require going to Vimy Diamond Shark and being like, hey, can you get me a new arm? And he's going to be like, well, let me talk about the shipping costs from the clan homeworld.
Yeah, that's why
we
he's
got
the true
roaming
boss.
charges, okay?
Roaming charges. Yeah. That's why Vimy is going to be the ultimate true boss, right?
He's the final boss. Season 3, you guys have to, all of you fight him, and he's in a 300-ton clan super giant mech.
Yes.
I really want to do one of those fights one time, even though it's not Battletech canon. Mech Assault has that kind of shit, so
yeah. It's hilarious, man.
Battletech's rules do not appreciate going over 100 tons.
What was that mech we came up against in the mercenary mission? There was it the Kodiak or something?
Yes, the Kodiak. Yeah, 100 tons.
That felt kind of like that at that point because we're just all sitting there wailing on this thing, and it just is.
That's the power
like
of assault mechs. Yeah, they just have tons of armor.
Oh,
just wait until we get stealth armor and shit like that, where you basically become invisible to sensors. Or hardened
might have helped me in this
where
match
you
if I
deal
had
less
it.
damage.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
what do you do after the match? You go to your interview?
Yeah, I'll go to the interview. You know, he like reaches out to Astrid, says GG, you know, like well done.
All right. She's not arrogant about this. It's, you know, she's treating it as if it is the passing of an era. It's like,
she's like, well, you're on your way down now.
No, like it's her time now. This is her time to rise. It's not that you're on your way down. It's that this is her time. She's got the shot to become a stable champion. Not just a stable champion. She wants to get into the top 20 for next year's grand tournament.
Oh, Astrid, don't we all? Although I would love to see Astrid be voted stable champion somehow.
I'm going to add her to the list now.
That's too fun. I mean, she does seem to be getting the expensive toys, so
yeah. You just listen. It's the power of shrimping. You just have to shrimp hard enough.
It works.
Evil Saya should be added to the list as well. If let's say if she beats Seth, I'll add her to the stable champion vote.
No, that makes sense. That seems fair.
She already beat Kyle, so I guess you have to defeat your master. You know?
You just do.
That's how you do it. You have to defeat the person who trained you. That's how you get a stable champion.
Yeah, that's how you graduate fully. That was Amos. Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, I'm asked if she could defeat a Tin Man and qualify. Technically, the same person.
Technically.
All right. Yeah. So William doesn't have any questions for you. He just sits and gestures silently for you to talk if you want to. You know, he's like, "Oh, but this is." He gives you an expression that must be like, "Ah, you must feel so defeated right now. This must be crushing."
No, Hillbilly's coming in good spirits. He's like actually pretty chill about this. You know, he sits down. He's got a beer. You know, if that's socially acceptable, and he's just like,
sure. Who doesn't drink beers on talk shows? Yeah,
you know, everybody. Well, it depends on the talk show for sure. What is it? The Graham Norton, where everybody's always drinking, and he's just like, whew. Yeah, that went about as I expected. You know, that Vapor Eagle with that Gauss rifle and those ER mediums, the range and firepower on that thing are scary, and the mobility. Yeah, I think I held my own pretty well, but
There
can't
were
win
a
them
lot
all.
of analysts that were expecting you to get into close range and leverage your TSM punches that you've been using so well lately. What
That
happened
was the
there?
goal. That was the goal. Well, you know,
You spent a lot of time standing around in the woods.
I did. Well, I fell in there too. You know, the early on, it seemed like I had the jump. You know, I could get my act together, was moving
You were
before
winning
she
the
was ready to
initiative rolls,
react
yeah.
to it. Yeah, and then towards the end, it just fell apart. She was firing on all cylinders. She was predicting where I was going. It was too much time training with me or something. She knew where I was going to be, and I just could not get that range to close. She was firing those jump jets when she needed to, and then I took that tumble. There was no chance at that point. I wasn't going to be able to close that range the way I needed to. It is what it is. But you know what? Hey, we both walked off that field, and that was really the only thing that I was going to consider a victory coming out of this one.
You've had several custom uses of your particular battle mech. Do you feel like this one was the optimal choice to bring onto this battlefield?
Well, I mean, take a look at what I was going up against. It was a mixture of maneuverability and firepower at extreme ranges. I needed something that could at least tickle back, you know, reasonably well. I had something that could close that distance if I had the opportunity. I think it's a good build. I think it was a good opportunity. I almost could have made something happen, but you know, what wasn't in the cards today. That's okay.
What can we look forward to your entertainment business media? We haven't seen anything new that you've personally directed, although we have seen collaborations with Seth Kabrinsky.
Yeah, you know, right now I'm working on a new piece that it's going to be a different genre, different vein. We're going a little more lighthearted in this one. It's going to be a buddy cop comedy that I think y'all are going to enjoy. Putting it together right now.
The winter buddy cop comedy. So
yeah,
are we going for like Yippee-Ki-Yay?
You asking if it could be considered a Christmas movie in the future? Well, you know, maybe.
So remember, on Solaris, it's December 11th. So
is it okay? I was actually going to ask, like, how far into the year are we? Are we getting close to when I can get my grubby little hands on a LBX 20? That's what Hillbilly's waiting for. You know, there will be some holiday elements, I'm sure. We all need a little Nakatomi Plaza in our
life. Yes. So as you know, on January 1st, the LBX 20 will instantly become available.
Obviously.
I'll allow it.
Really? All right, perfect.
I would like you to make an entertainment roll to hype your movie.
Okay. That's a 4 + 1, or no, entertainment? No, that's a 4. So I'm gonna use my edge. I'm gonna use that edge. There we go.
Okay. All right. So he looks down at a note card and says, and I understand that C-Bill has signed on to play your partner, the younger rookie cop who just joined the force.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all are going to get a kick out of this. She puts in a great performance.
All right. So you will get a point of glory because you appeared in a match with Astrid, and she has the thing that gives a point of glory if you've ever appeared with someone together before.
There we go.
You get an XP for participating in the match.
Nope.
I don't. You guaranteed victory. You don't suffer those consequences.
No, it didn't seem right to guarantee victory against Astrid.
I think you've already committed to training your intern.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I'm gonna put one simulator with Lynn Hilder down here. Okay. Anything else from you?
No, I can't think of anything right now. I think that about does it. We're just waiting to see what happens with Saya and Seth right now. Throwdown showdown.
Listen, the next few episodes are gonna be fucking wild. That's all I have to say in that regard.
I'm definitely looking forward to them.
Ludeman, always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for joining me.
You as well.
I'm sorry that you're busted and you're on your way down now. I hope that you can defeat Ezekiel and make your way back up.
That's the goal.
And audience, please repair one of the mechs at least that was involved in this. I won't say which one I want repaired, but thank you and have a good afternoon. Or time zone. That's my new thing. Have a good time zone. Damn it, audience.